In late March, it was revealed that the Montana Grizzly football coaching staff boasted nearly 200 years of combined experience, 197 to be exact. Bobby Houck's club has certainly been around the coaching block a time or two, but when former Grizz assistant and current Carroll College head coach Mike Van Diest was questioned about the Fighting Saints experience, a joking smile formed on his face.
Well, if we do, then I'm the oldest guy with 100 years, and everybody else is catching up. So I don't think you want to put that on us. But no, we got some experience bringing Tony Armstrong on board is big time, and then we got some young guys, which I thought would be great. Whether it's Reese Hack, whether it's Caden Gleesman, guys like that, Cody Steele, guys that are going to bring this program with some new excitement, a different. Maybe a different angle on how to coach, some different drills. We're not going to change our whole program or schemes, but these guys can have a different way to another tool in the toolbox, so to speak.
Just right here like that.
Those tools have been sharpened during the Saints spring drills, which are set to conclude with Carroll's annual spring game on Saturday. Newly acquired Arnson and offensive coordinator Nick Howlett have worked side by side on the practice field, reviewing the playbook and incorporating the terminology. Meanwhile, Van Diest and Alex Castens have manned the defensive side of the ball, with guys like Alex Fanensteel roaming the entire field. Each is dedicated to the improvement of the program, which has finished 4-6 the past 3 seasons, and also prepared to reignite that spark that fans grew so accustomed to during the Saints' 6 NAIA national championship runs. Van Diest says he feels that excitement rising and credits the other athletic programs for building it.
Well, what's great is how well successful our men and women's basketball team were. When they can take it off into the playoffs, they go in the second round, they win the conference championship, the conference tournament. There's a lot of excitement on this campus and this community and around the state because of the success those guys had. I hope that carries over in enthusiasm because, hey, now, spring football. That's the next spring sport. We're in spring football, and let's go from there. When you look at it, August, when these kids report, it's not very far off. It looks like it is, but as coaches, we've already got our calendars printed off, and it's like, okay, hey, we don't have many weeks that we got to get prepared for certain things that we want to make sure we cover during spring practice, and then what are we going to do with film study and the guys that are staying here this summer? You bet. It's exciting. Football doesn't have an off season. It's just out of season.
Though the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs are a welcome distraction for the hockey fan in Van Diest, it's the X's and O's of the playbook, schemes both past and present, even possibilities of swapping players from one side of the ball to the other that populate the majority of his mind during the spring. Though the Saints have continued to dive deeper into the playbook as spring has rolled on, their coach speaks of the simplest, yet most important, aspect of all as being the biggest factor in future success.
Well, I think the thing that both sides of football and Coach Howard on offense and what we're trying to do on defense is, number one, making sure their assignment and alignment's right. And then go out and execute and go play. Go play and do it the way you've been taught to do it, the way you watch it on film. It's decision-making. On defense, it's no different than any place else. You got to be strong up the middle. Offensively, the thing that kills you in offense is turnovers. And that's in any sport. So those are the things I think that we've got to emphasize as we go through spring football. But number one, getting guys in the right positions. We made a move with Connor McGree, moving from tight end to center. Alex Hoffman from tight end to offensive tackle. Those are things that you can it's not really an experiment. We're moving them in there. And they're going to stay there. They're going to learn it, regardless of what happens. And this is a learning phase for them. And I think the new coaches, it's a learning phase for them as well.
While that assignment and alignment chatter may sound like a broken record to some, it's where Van Diest points immediately when looking at losses over the past 3 seasons. Big plays, momentum shifts, and turnovers seemingly stem from players being out of position or straying from their assignment on film. But Van Diest sees a simple fix if all parties buy in.
Well, those are certain things that we can control as players and control as coaches. As coaches, we got to do a better job of making sure what we're getting done at practice is productive. It's not just activity. It's not just going out there for an hour and 45 minutes or 2.5 hours and saying, okay, now we got to practice in. We got to make sure we're covering what we need to cover. And as you go back and look at last year's film or even 5 years ago, what are the things we need to work on? Our job as defensive coaches is we have to shore up our tackling. We have to shore up our pass rush. We got to do better at the pass rush. And we got to be better at the corner spot. Offensively, we got to be able to throw the ball downfield with guys like Troy Arnston and Shane Sipes, Chase Fossum, Paul Hart, those types of guys. Eric Dawson's a great receiver. So what can we do better that we can control? We're not at the other schools involved in their spring practices, so we got to concentrate on what can we do at Carroll College the best.
Fans will get a glimpse of those areas of focus this weekend as the Saints are set to open that spring game around 1 p.m. on Saturday. Once the final whistle blows on that scrimmage and all the film has been critiqued, Van Diest and the staff will seek brief hiatuses to reset for the grueling schedule that awaits.
Well, we got some coaches that get away. You know, we get coaches that need to get away, spend some time with their family, some quality time vacation-wise, and getting fishing. I don't think this staff is much of a bunch of golfers. They don't let us on Bill Roberts, and Parker Heller doesn't let us come out or has never invited me out to the country club. So for us, it's an opportunity to kind of go back, watch last year's film, watch the cut-ups from spring football, look at players maybe coming in as freshmen or transfers in the fall that say, okay, we need some help here. Maybe we move a guy around. In the summertime, we have 60-plus guys that stay here in Helen in the summer. So we're around them a lot in the weight room, film session. We get a chance to kind of mingle with them throughout the summer.
As long as age and total years of experience aren't discussed in the conversation. Richie Melby, MTN Sports.